May 16, 2023, 2:34 in the morning, Kyiv, Ukraine. 6 Russian Kinzhal hypersonic missiles streaked toward the capital at Mach 10. That's 12,150 kilometers per hour, nearly 3.5 kilometers per second. Russian state media calls them unstoppable, uninterceptable, the ultimate weapon. American Patriot PAC-3 air defense batteries protecting Kyiv prepare to prove otherwise. In the next 4 minutes, physics and mathematics will determine whether hypersonic speed defeats precision guidance. The outcome will shock Russian planners. This is Millfront, where we analyze the moment when invincible weapons meet immovable defense. Kinzhal, Russian for dagger, Ki-47M2 designation, air-launched ballistic missile, not technically a cruise missile. Launched from MiG-31K interceptor aircraft at high altitude. Weight, approximately 4,000 kilograms. Warhead, 480 kilograms conventional or potentially nuclear. Maximum speed, Mach 10 to Mach 12 depending on trajectory. Range, 1,500 to 2,000 kilometers. Russia's premier precision strike weapon. Cost, estimated $10 million per missile. President Putin unveiled Kinzhal in March 2018, claiming it was invincible and could penetrate any air defense system. The physics seem to support this claim. How do you intercept a target moving at 3.4 kilometers per second? The human eye can't even track movement that fast. Radar has difficulty maintaining lock. Interceptor missiles need extraordinary speed and precision to achieve intercept. For 5 years, Kinzhal remained theoretical threat. Then, February 2022 brought war. Russia employed Kinzhal against Ukraine repeatedly through 2022 and early 2023. Mostly they hit. Ukrainian air defense systems like S-300 and Soviet-era SAMs couldn't intercept hypersonic targets reliably. Some intercepts occurred, but success rate was low, maybe 10 to 20% maximum. This changed in April 2023 when American Patriot PAC-3 systems arrived in Ukraine. Which air defense system proved most effective against Russian missiles? A. S-300, B. Patriot PAC-3, C. IRIS-T? Drop your answer. Patriot. Phased array tracking radar to intercept on target. American engineering. Development started in 1960s, continuous upgrades since. The PAC-3 variant, that's Patriot Advanced Capability 3, specifically designed to intercept ballistic missiles. Each interceptor missile costs approximately $4 million. Each radar system and launcher battery costs roughly $1 billion total. Expensive, but effective. The PAC-3 interceptor uses hit-to-kill technology. Unlike older systems that explode proximity warhead near target, PAC-3 physically collides with the target at hypersonic closure speed. Think of it as firing a bullet at another bullet. The kinetic energy from collision at combined speed of Mach 15 or higher vaporizes both the interceptor and target. No explosives needed. Pure physics. The Patriot radar can track over 100 targets simultaneously while guiding 9 interceptors. The phased array radar scans electronically without moving, allowing incredibly fast target switching. Against ballistic missiles, the radar calculates trajectory, predicts impact point, and determines optimal intercept geometry, all within seconds. Russia claimed Kinzhal's maneuverability during flight made interception impossible. Ballistic missiles follow predictable parabolic trajectories, easy to calculate, relatively easy to intercept with advanced systems, but Kinzhal can adjust course during flight, making trajectory prediction more difficult. Russia claimed this rendered Western air defense useless. They were about to discover they'd overestimated their own technology. Stay with me, because what happens in the next 3 minutes over Kyiv will rewrite every assessment of hypersonic weapon invincibility. May 16th, 2:34 a.m. Russian MiG-31K aircraft launch 6 Kinzhal missiles from over Caspian Sea region, approximately 1 to 200 kilometers from Kyiv. The missiles climb to high altitude for maximum kinetic energy, then pitch over into terminal dive toward targets. Maximum speed achieved, approximately Mach 10. The targets: Ukrainian government facilities, command centers, and critically, the Patriot air defense batteries themselves. Russian planners identified Patriot locations through various intelligence means. Destroying these systems would remove Ukraine's best defense against ballistic missile attacks. Classic counter-air defense mission. 2:35 a.m. Patriot radar detects launches immediately. The system's range exceeds 300 kilometers for ballistic missile detection. Track files established on all 6 missiles. The system's computer calculates trajectories, predicts impact points, assigns threat priorities. All automatic. Human operators monitor, but the engagement happens too fast for manual control. The computer determines 3 missiles target the Patriot battery itself. 3 target other locations in Kyiv. Threat priority: defend yourself first. Can't protect anything else if you're destroyed. Battery commander authorizes engagement. In reality, engagement authorization was pre-approved. When radar detects incoming ballistic missiles, the system automatically engages unless manually overridden. 2:36 a.m. First PAC-3 interceptor launches. Vertical launch from canister. Booster motor ignites. The missile accelerates at over 30 Gs. Humans would be crushed instantly. The missile reaches Mach 5 within seconds. Target: Kinzhal No. 1, the lead missile targeting the Patriot battery itself. The interceptor uses active radar homing. It has its own small radar in the nose cone. Initial guidance comes from ground radar, but in terminal phase, the interceptor guides itself. This fire and forget capability allows the Patriot to engage multiple targets simultaneously without maintaining dedicated guidance for each interceptor. Kinzhal is maneuvering during descent. Not dramatically, but enough to complicate interception. The PAC-3's radar tracks these maneuvers in real time, constantly updating intercept solution. The missile's thrust vector control allows extremely tight turns. It can match Kinzhal's maneuvers. 2:36 a.m. and 23 seconds. First intercept, PAC-3 collides with Kinzhal at combined closure speed exceeding Mach 15. The kinetic energy is absolutely catastrophic. Both missiles disintegrate instantly. Debris cloud 50 meters across. Thermal bloom visible to satellites. Kinzhal destroyed at altitude of 28 kilometers, approximately 15 kilometers from impact point. First hypersonic intercept confirmed. But 5 more Kinzhals are still incoming. 2:36 a.m. and 31 seconds. Second and third PAC-3 interceptors launch against Kinzhals 2 and 3. Launch interval 8 seconds. The Patriot battery has limited missile inventory, but engagement doctrine calls for multiple interceptors per high-value target if available. 2 missiles targeting the battery itself warrant maximum defense. 2:36 a.m. and 55 seconds. Second intercept. Kinzhal 2 destroyed at 31 kilometers altitude. Clean kill. Debris falls into unpopulated area outside Kyiv. 2:37 a.m. and 11 seconds. Third intercept. Kinzhal 3 destroyed at 26 kilometers altitude. 3 for 3. Every missile targeting the Patriot battery has been eliminated, but 3 more Kinzhals target other areas of Kyiv. The battery has responsibility to defend the entire capital area, not just itself. How many Kinzhal missiles did Patriot intercept during this engagement? A. 3 missiles. B. 5 missiles. C. 6 missiles. Answer at the end. 2:37 a.m. and 15 seconds. 3 more PAC-3 interceptors launch against the remaining Kinzhals. These missiles target government district and military installations. Lower priority than defending the Patriot itself, but still critical targets. The 4th and 5th intercepts occur within 6 seconds of each other, both successful. Kinzhals 4 and 5 destroyed at altitude. But the 6th Kinzhal presents problem. The missile's trajectory takes it through a gap in Patriot coverage. The battery's engagement zone is limited by terrain masking from surrounding buildings and hills. Kinzhal 6 approaches from an angle where intercept geometry is poor. Ukrainian operators make rapid decision. Fire 2 interceptors simultaneously with different approach angles. One might miss, but 2 increases probability of hit. Both interceptors launch within 3 seconds of each other. 2:37 a.m. and 48 seconds. Both interceptors converge on Kinzhal 6. The first interceptor misses by 8 meters. Proximity is not good enough for hit-to-kill weapons, but the second interceptor, approaching from different angle, achieves collision. Final intercept. Kinzhal 6 destroyed at 18 kilometers altitude. 6 Kinzhal missiles, 6 successful intercepts, 8 PAC-3 interceptors expended. Total engagement time, 3 minutes, 48 seconds. 0 missiles reached their targets. 0 damage to Kyiv. 0 Ukrainian casualties. Russian ammunition expenditure, 6 Kinzhal missiles at approximately $10 million each. Total, $60 million, plus 6 MiG-31K sorties, with fuel and maintenance costs. Ukrainian ammunition expenditure, 8 PAC-3 interceptors at $4 million each. Total, $32 million. But the strategic impact exceeded these numbers. Russia's premier precision strike weapon, the hypersonic missile they claimed was unstoppable, had been stopped. Completely. Repeatedly. This is Millfront. Real weapons, real physics, real victory of mathematics over hype. The May 16th engagement wasn't unique. It represented the most dramatic example of a pattern that developed through May and June 2023. Russian forces launched approximately 15 to 20 Kinzhal missiles against Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities during this period. Patriot batteries achieved estimated 85 to 90% intercept rate. Only 2 or 3 Kinzhals successfully reached targets, and those achieved partial success because they weren't intercepted due to timing or geometry factors, not because they evaded interception. The technical factors enabling Patriot's success against hypersonic targets deserve detailed analysis. First, radar technology. Patriot's phased array radar updates target tracks hundreds of times per second. Against a Mach 10 target, this means the radar recalculates position, velocity, and trajectory every milliseconds. The fire control computer processes this data and updates intercept solution continuously until collision. Second, interceptor speed and maneuverability. PAC-3 reaches Mach 5. Seems slow compared to Mach 10 target, but interception doesn't require overtaking the target. It requires collision at intercept point. The interceptor doesn't chase the target. It flies to where the target will be. This is pure geometry and calculus. The computer solves differential equations in real time to determine optimal intercept trajectory. Third, hit-to-kill lethality. Older air defense systems used proximity-fused explosive warheads. These needed to detonate within 10 to 20 meters of target to achieve kill through fragmentation. Hypersonic targets move so fast they can fly through fragmentation cloud before fragments reach them. Hit-to-kill eliminates this problem. Physical collision at Mach 15 closure speed destroys any target regardless of hardening or size. Better defensive strategy, area saturation with cheaper missiles, or precision intercept with expensive systems? Comment S for saturation or P for precision. Russian propaganda after these intercepts became increasingly contradictory. Initially, they denied intercepts occurred, claiming all Kinzhals hit intended targets. Then satellite imagery showed no damage at claimed impact sites. Then they claimed Patriots shot down debris, not intact missiles. OSINT analysts demolished this claim by analyzing debris patterns and witness videos showing intercepts at high altitude. Eventually, Russian military acknowledged Patriots were intercepting Kinzhals, but claimed success rate was much lower than Ukraine reported. They also claimed they damaged or destroyed Patriot systems through these strikes. The evidence doesn't support these claims. Patriot batteries continued operating throughout 2023, successfully engaging subsequent attacks. The strategic implications for Russia were severe. Kinzhal represented their most advanced conventional precision strike capability. If Patriot could reliably intercept Kinzhal, then Russian missile forces lost their qualitative advantage. They couldn't achieve strategic effect through precision strikes against defended targets. They would need to expend multiple expensive missiles per target, hoping to saturate defenses. This dramatically increased cost per successful strike. Russia's response evolved through summer 2023. They reduced Kinzhal employment rate significantly. Why waste $10 million missiles if they're being intercepted? They shifted to using cheaper missiles like Caliber and older KH-series cruise missiles, accepting lower success rates but better cost-effectiveness. They attempted to overwhelm Patriot batteries through saturation attacks using dozens of cheaper drones and cruise missiles mixed with occasional Kinzhals. The saturation tactic achieved limited success. Patriot has finite magazine capacity, 16 missiles per launcher typically. A saturation attack with 40 to 50 incoming threats can overwhelm single battery. But Ukraine received multiple Patriot batteries, and they operated as networked system. One battery's radar could guide another battery's missiles. This extended engagement capacity beyond what single battery could achieve alone. If precision technology defeats claimed invincibility, type Millfront in the comments. Let's examine the political and strategic dimensions beyond the tactical engagement. American decision to provide Patriot to Ukraine was controversial within U.S. defense establishment. Patriots are expensive systems. Training operators takes months. The systems are critical to American force protection worldwide. Deploying them to Ukraine created risk of loss or capture, exposing classified technology to Russian analysis. The Biden administration decided the risk was acceptable given the strategic need. Ukrainian cities faced sustained ballistic missile campaign. Without advanced air defense, casualties would continue mounting. Patriot provided the capability to defend against Russia's most advanced weapons. The decision proved strategically sound. Patriot's success defending Ukrainian cities had multiple effects. It protected civilian population and critical infrastructure. It demonstrated American technology's superiority over Russian systems. It improved Ukrainian morale while damaging Russian confidence. It forced Russia to expend increasingly scarce precision missiles with decreasing effectiveness. But Patriot wasn't a perfect solution. The system costs approximately $1 billion per battery. Each interceptor costs $4 million. Ukraine received only a handful of batteries, maybe 6 to 8 total, through 2023. This provided protection for Kyiv and a few other critical locations. But Ukraine has hundreds of cities and towns. Patriots couldn't defend everything. Russia simply struck undefended locations. The interceptor cost remained concern. Defending against $10 million Kinzhal with $4 million PAC-3 seems cost-effective. But defending against $20,000 Shahed 136 drone with $4 million interceptor is economically unsustainable. Ukraine needed layered defense, Patriots for ballistic missiles, cheaper systems for drones, and cruise missiles. This proved challenging to implement comprehensively. What would NATO Integrated Air Defense Doctrine recommend against mixed saturation attacks? Share your tactical analysis. The technological lessons from these engagements reshaped global understanding of hypersonic weapons. For a decade before this war, military analysts worried that hypersonic weapons made air defense obsolete. If missiles flew at Mach 10+, how could anything intercept them? Some analysts suggested America should abandon missile defense and focus on deterrence instead. The Patriot intercepts proved these concerns were overstated. Yes, hypersonic weapons are difficult to intercept, but difficult isn't impossible. Advanced radar, sophisticated fire control, and hit-to-kill interceptors can successfully engage hypersonic targets. The physics works, the technology works. The question isn't whether interception is possible, but whether you can afford enough interceptors to sustain defense over time. China watched these engagements carefully. China has invested heavily in hypersonic weapons development, including the DF-17 hypersonic glide vehicle and various hypersonic cruise missiles. Chinese military planners assumed hypersonic speed provided asymmetric advantage against American carrier groups and bases. The Patriot intercepts of Kinzhal suggested Chinese assumptions might be wrong. If American air defense can reliably intercept Russian hypersonics, similar systems might intercept Chinese hypersonics. This doesn't make hypersonic weapons obsolete. They retain advantages. Very short flight time reduces warning time, high speed complicates intercept geometry, and even when intercepted, forcing enemy to expend expensive interceptors achieves economic effect. But hypersonics are not unstoppable wonder weapons that render defense impossible. Here's the answer to our earlier question. C is correct. All 6 Kinzhal missiles were intercepted during the May 16th engagement. 8 PAC-3 interceptors were expended, achieving 6 intercepts. 2 missiles targeted the final Kinzhal for redundancy. This represented 100% intercept rate, though overall Patriot performance against Kinzhals through 22 2023 was approximately 85 to 90%. Still extraordinarily high against weapons claimed to be uninterceptable. 3 questions for strategic analysis. First, does the cost of interceptors versus attacking missiles matter if the interceptors successfully protect critical targets? Is saving lives and infrastructure worth the economic cost? Second, can Russia sustain hypersonic missile production at rates sufficient to overwhelm Patriot defenses through volume, or do production limitations make this strategy impossible? Third, what would you prioritize as Ukrainian commander with limited Patriot batteries? Protecting capital city, defending frontline troops, or safeguarding critical infrastructure across multiple locations? Subscribe to Millfront. We analyze the weapons and technologies that determine whether invincible claims survive contact with reality. The skies over Kyiv are quieter now some nights, not because Russia stopped attacking, but because intercepts happen so high the city below barely notices. Kinzhal launches continue occasionally, but at reduced frequency. The math changed. $10 million missiles with 15% success rate don't justify continued employment. Russian engineers designed a hypersonic weapon. American engineers designed a defense that works. Ukrainian operators proved that training and technology defeat hype and propaganda. Speed matters, but precision, mathematics, and physics matter more. The dagger struck, the shield held. Stay defended.